Right now, jury selection is underway in the federal trial of three former Memphis police officers charged in the killing of 29-year-old Tyre Nichols. Last January, Nichols died 3 days after being beaten by a group of officers who pulled him over and yanked him out of the car for what they say was reckless driving. The police chief said at the time there's no evidence to support that claim. The footage of the incident may be hard to watch. It does show officers kicking, punching and hitting Nichols with a police baton. And all that created a firestorm of controversy across the country. The three former officers have pleaded not guilty to civil rights and obstruction charges, while two other officers pled guilty, and they may testify at trial. Joining me now, former Brooklyn prosecutor and MSNBC legal analyst Charles Coleman. Good to see you, Charles. So jurors are going to be selected from a pool of about 200 people. What would you be looking for as a prosecutor?
Well, Chris, as a prosecutor, I'm thinking about obviously jurors who I think are, through whatever the responses are to their questionnaire, demonstrated an understanding of what has been going on in this country with respect to police. And I know that may seem sort of amorphous in terms of a description, but you can actually glean a lot of that information by the type of information the type of news sources that they subscribe to, the type of things that they read. If there's anything in their questionnaire that suggests that they have an understanding of what the recent history of violence by police has been, particularly as it relates to communities of colors, those things I'm going to be looking for. I'm going to be looking for people who show signs of that. Obviously, I am probably going to look to avoid people who have ties or connections to law enforcement. Not to say that those people cannot be fair and impartial, but just speaking practically as a prosecutor, I want to get the jury that's going to be most favorable to the facts of my case and most understanding of what it is larger in terms of context that I will be presenting to them.
So there is a lot of footage from the incident, body cams, surveillance cameras. I'm wondering how thoughtful, how careful you have to be using that kind of evidence. I mean, the autopsy did conclude Nichols died from blows to the head, but also how difficult all of that might make it for the defense.
Because I think that you have to approach it with a degree of understanding around the humanity of the jury, but also out of respect for the Nichols family and Tyre Nichols themselves. You cannot water this down. You have to show, unfortunately, these are the moments where we watch Tyre Nichols be killed by these defendants. And there's no way around that. There's no way to sugarcoat that. They have to see it. You have to approach it with an appropriate level of sensitivity, but you cannot water it down. You have to prepare the jury for it, and you have to show them as much of it as possible so that they cannot ignore. Remember, the standard here is beyond a reasonable doubt. And so with the copious amount of body cam footage that you have, you want to leave no doubt, as little doubt as possible in the minds of these jurors that, listen, the job that this person came to do as a prosecutor in terms of convicting these individuals and trying to bring some level of comfort to the Nichols family has been satisfied beyond a reasonable doubt, because we've seen it with our own eyes and we've watched the tape despite how uncomfortable it may have been.
I've only got 30 seconds, but I mentioned two other officers took plea deals. If they testify, what do they bring to the case?
They bring corroboration. They bring the idea of what intent is. They bring a completer picture to what the narrative that the prosecutors want to advance. And so it's not something that the defense wants to see. And ultimately, that's why you try to flip people who were closest to the scene of the crime, because they know better than anyone else what went down.
Charles Coleman, always good to see you, and thanks.